Okay. Hi, everyone. Let me turn that off because I'm echoing. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yes,
you.
we can hear you, Mary.
Cool. That means this is working. I finally realized how they were trying to explain this to me. So, first off, welcome to our first meeting for 2024. Cassie cannot be here today. She has a mandatory work meeting. Don't we love all of those? So, you're all stuck with me for the next 30 minutes or so. I'm sorry. And while we get this started, I don't see, I need Tatiana or Professor Hall to help me out because I can't see my other chat right now. I'm
I'll
not sure
for
if
you,
Tim or
Mary.
anyone else is on.
Okay, I'll watch the chat for you.
Thank you. So it's like we got this one. Just I like to stick to themes because it's pretty and colors. And basically, welcome to the first meeting. We hope your winter holiday was filled with fun, family, and relaxation. We hope the first 4 weeks of the spring 24 term has been productive. Mine sure has been. And sorry, you guys might hear my brother scream in the back. That's because he likes to tell everybody he's here. So, our meeting agenda is we usually start with a roll call and reading of the minutes. This is usually performed by Tim, and if he comes on, we'll get to him. If not, we'll just record this for purposes so he can do the minutes later. Motivational quote. We also have a motivational video that's going to make you all cry, so please have tissues. We got some new news and some old news we're going to finally square away after a year. A spotlight on association partners that the NSNA deals with and works with, and that would help us later on after we graduate school. And something I actually learned from the San Diego conference on how to list our credentials appropriately after we graduate from school. And hopefully Professor Hall and Wilkinson can confirm this for me because I haven't graduated yet. And we're going to just touch base on the annual convention coming up in April. The Utah Student Nurses Association, they are having their annual convention. We got news on our website, and we're going to end with the review from our advisors. Sorry if you really do hear my brother. I cannot control that. Is Tim on the call already?
I don't see him, Mary.
Okay. So while we're recording, so he can do this later. Like I said, normally we do have a reading of the minutes for December 23. We'll just have these read and approved at the next meeting in March. So for March, we'll have December and February meetings read and for approval so we can follow those. And then right now, if we can just do a roll call. Like I said, I know Cassie is not here today. She is at a mandatory work meeting. So the next I would do mine. So Mary Evans, chapter vice president, and then someone else can
Tanisha
go.
Hall. Tanisha Hall, co-faculty advisor.
Tatiana Cuevas Boyd, treasurer.
Sarah Jones, learner experience representative.
And for those that don't feel comfortable coming off mic, if you could please write in the chat for us, we'll appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Since we don't have reading of the minutes, we'll just keep moving on. So the motivational quote I picked for this month was, "Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much," from Helen Keller. When I read it, it kind of just related too much, very much what NSNA is. We are a group that when we work together, we can accomplish so much. And it doesn't mean that when we're alone, we can't do, but together it's a bigger impact on everything else. So I thought this was kind of fitting for first meeting of the year. And then prepare for your tissues. So this is the difference between care and caring. This is from the Royal Alexandra Hospital in Canada. And it's talks about the difference of as nurses between care and caring.
That's okay. care for it. Stay recalled to the facility, got some IV access going.
There's nothing left to say. There's just a perfect day for us to use. There's nothing else to see. No better place to be. Now that you're here with me, and I'm with you. Why don't we wait here? I just wanna stay here.
I saw a patient this morning with that name.
Why don't we
The pain started to subside.
here? Now.
Bed management, Michelle speaking. Okay. What's the patient's name? McIntyre. All right, that's a compassionate bed. Let me see what I can do.
You guys need help? Follow this hallway down there and follow signs to Roxy.
So please don't move an inch. Don't ever change a thing. Just let me take this in and hold it tight. Why don't we wait here now?
We grew up together,
Why don't we wait?
and we'll die together.
I just wanna stay here. Why don't we wait here now?
Is anybody else crying? Because I legit cried all yesterday when I found this video. And there's more to this series of videos regarding the difference between care and caring, and I would greatly recommend to do that. Just because as nurses, this is what we do need to know. There's difference between care and caring.
Mary, you got me on that one. On this nice Thursday afternoon.
Well, I think I'm just trying to make everybody cry because it's cloudy over here. So get all your tissues out. So we got some news. Same thing. We always try to update everybody what our active members. I believe we had actually two different numbers. The one that I saw in the main one was 80, but I think we may have 78 or 79. So we'll stick to the 80 until we can get more numbers confirmed. That still does put us at third in the state of Utah for the Student Nurses Association. So that is a huge accomplishment considering the other two is State of Utah University and Brigham Young. So the fact that we are our own little environment of school and we're third, that is an accomplishment we should always take right there because we're competing against these two big schools that have been around forever in Utah. So the next thing, our bank account, we are in the process of finalizing, which is the longest thing I think we've worked on. So yay, it's almost done. As mentioned before,
The bank account process, we've been jumping hoops, so I do need to discuss with Cassie a few things before we make any major updates and announcements about that.
Oh yes, that one, like I said, it's still in finalizing, so we still got more stuff to do, you guys, but we will keep you update when we have confirmed updates from, Tatiana and Cassie on that one. So, like regarding the club dues, we are still discussing, so as of right now, nothing is being enforced on that. So we will update all members when we have a better idea. So no panic on that one just yet. And one of the things is we now have a website. It is active. That has been my project this whole entire month. I finally got it working and running. So future or all the past recordings that we were able to get and had access to, the specialty spotlights along with our minutes and agendas, they will be posted on this website for anybody to view, and as well as updated news. So right there we do have the link, and I will post it in the chat a little later today. And the final thing on our news is for graduation. I just realized I spelled recognition wrong. If you are an active member and you want to have the NSNA recognition on your title slide for the ceremony that Nightingale officially does, the virtual ceremony, you need to please get in touch with Professor Hall and or Wilkinson, preferably both, because they both have their own busy schedules. And you can let them know in your graduating semester, your name. I am graduating April 2024, August 24, so that they can inform the appropriate people within Nightingale that you are an active member. Also, you can email the organization email, the NCSNA one. I will post that one up too. So just for safety, message all three of them just so we know that that it's getting recognized and that we're following up on that one. Sorry, guys, I'm also freezing back here, so I might shake a little bit. One of the things I wanted to start doing is doing a spotlight. So what's the one thing as nursing students we hear, what are we going to do after we leave school? And their specialties, the most common one I hear from everybody is L&D. Bless you all, because that's not my field. And NICU and pediatrics. So one of the things NSNA does is they have a partnership association, just as we are part of NSNA. We are entitled to ANA, and then they have different specialty sponsors that they work with. So this one for this month is the Academy of Neonatal Nursing. They work with the tiniest people we will ever come across in our field as nurses, and that is our newborns. Their particular organization is on education with dealing with newborns. So this is where if you want to work in that field, reach out and join their organization so you can stay on top of new things, new research, educational stuff for your CEUs when it comes to your license renewal, and just to stay on top of that changing field dealing with newborns. Let's see, get my computer. So this is the part I'm going to have Professor Hall help me with this in a bit because I think she's still here because I can't see.
I'm
How
here,
to
Mary.
list. Okay, so you're gonna have to help me with this one, certainly, because I can only based on what I've seen. When we list our credentials after we graduate, one of the common things is, do we put RN or BSN, MSN, later on. So according to the ANCC, which is the American, I may have put that whole abbreviation wrong, but I know they are the American College of something with nursing. So they kind of help with everything regarding nursing and colleges and all that fun stuff. So there is I don't want to say, there's a standard way, and that is so that the people you are coming across, doctors, family members, and etc., they know what your title is. And really, so especially when you're signing emails, we see those all the time with the teachers. They have their name, their educational title, and RN, and everything else. So that's why I thought about this, was actually because of one of the papers we had to do, writing on the professor's credentials. So the preferred order of credentials is the highest earned degree. For us right now would be a BSN. So I'll say like mine's, it'll be Mary Evans, BSN, and then the licensure, which would be RN. And then following these, because I don't know about the rest of it, Professor Hall, if you can jump in and kind of explain the rest of that. So I'm assuming like when I graduate and I get licensed, it would say, Mary Evans, BSN, RN.
That's correct. That's what yours would say. And when it talks about national certifications and etc., if you guys just so happen to look at my signature, you'll see that it's MSN RN/BC, as I'm a board certified mental health nurse. And so you may see that a lot with some of your professors as well. And you can have multiple board certification in many specialties.
Thank you, Professor Hall. I thought that just be something to kind of like touch on, since that is, I think, one of the common
It's good,
questions.
and you see a lot of people do it. I won't say incorrectly, but not the way that um, is suggested here, the preferred order. So that is a good thing, especially as you guys are approaching that of graduation. So that's good,
And
Mary.
I will post the pamphlet that I read this off of. I also got this from when I was at the conference in San Diego. I was going to introduce it in December, just didn't have the time to put it together. So I will share this one with everybody. So it's just good to have, especially as we're graduating, getting further along in the program, why we put credentials, especially for the professors when we're writing papers. So the big topic we're doing, the 72nd annual convention. This is a big one. The mid-year, it's okay. It's a little bit smaller compared to the annual. I have been to two of them already, and this one is going to be held in Disney World. Who doesn't love Disney World? If you don't, then I'm kind of slightly wondering about you. Not really, because it's not my place, but at the convention, they do a live NCLEX review. It is usually hosted by Lippincott. I want to say, I cannot remember her name, but she does a very good job at doing a review, and they also do a live NGN review at the same time. So that's always something to attend. The House of Delegates, as we said, Nightingale has two delegates. So the delegates are, we get to participate in the function of shaping NSNA. So people will bring up resolutions and we vote on those. If there's something that changes the code of ethics to the NSNA, these are what the delegates vote on. So it is a good experience to have to add to your resume that you were a national delegate for the NSNA. The scholarship winners are announced. I thought it closed 2 weeks ago. Someone just told me it did. They extended it, but I'm not sure. But if you apply for the scholarship and you win, they will announce this at the convention. You'll usually get an invitation for a special scholarship dinner that is hosted by the people who sponsored the scholarships. During the annual, it's also networking opportunities with fellow students and the most important, healthcare employers. I know as a school that we're very nationwide diverse, we might not know who to go to or what we might want to do. So this is a good place. I've gotten opportunities to talk to the Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, places in California, Washington, all of those. So I'm tempted to move away from Vegas. The new thing they are doing this year is a nursing tournament for patient safety. The little bit I read about it is it's kind of like a contest of which nursing student that represents their school can rise at performing patient safety the best. And then also the NSA Uniform Day, which is, I believe, the Thursday of the convention. If we're going to the convention, you will show up in your uniform. So you're representing, like us, if we went, we would represent Nightingale in our uniforms. And I believe our secretary mentioned something about Disney ears, and you wear Disney ears. And there's educational sessions. They had a sim lab. The last time was that when I went to the one where you can participate in a like ER setting. So these conventions are very good, and let's have leadership opportunities and networking. If you're interested in joining, email Cassie or myself. We'll get you put on a Teams chat so we can coordinate the trip and make it, so we all go at one time. So I'm planning on going. It just really depends on IP at this point and some other factors. So just let one of us know, or even the professors, and we'll get you squared away in a group we're trying to coordinate. And in Utah, as said, because we are part of the Utah Association, they are having their annual convention February 10. And Cassie is actually going. She's our chapter president. So if we have any members who are in Utah or would like to go to Salt Lake for a day, Cassie will be there representing Nightingale at the convention February 10. You can message her for more details on this one. And the favorite part of my day, actually my month usually, The review with our advisors. I was actually trying to get NGN, but then I remembered how much I hate them. So I stuck to the other questions. And take it away, Professor Hall.
No further hate for the NGN.
Yeah,
Guys,
I
you
just don't
got this.
like doing them. Okay, here's question
All right.
one.
Awesome. Awesome. So here we have a nurse is assisting a father that changed the diaper of his 2-day-old infant. The father notices several bluish black pigmented areas on the infant's buttocks and asks the nurse, "What did you do to my baby?" Which response is best for the nurse to provide? So, really quickly, guys, before you look at the answer choices, if you can go through and begin to recognize those cues and then move into analyzation, key things that stick out: 2-year-old baby, father's changing diaper, and he sees on the buttocks bluish and black pigmented areas. Okay. Now, one thing to think about, is this something that is a possible expectation, or is this something that's not expected? And father seems like he's kind of on a fence, right? Like, what did you do to my baby? So let's look at the best nursing response. Is it A, what makes you think we did anything to your baby? B, are you on any of your blood relatives of Asian descent? C, those are stork bites and will go away in about 2 years. Or D, these are Mongolian spots and will gradually fade in 1 to 2 years. If you guys will put your answer in the chat. But what do you think about this? And guys, remember, when you see questions such as this, we're looking at good therapeutic communication skills as well, right? What would you want to say that would be deemed appropriate? So give you guys a couple of seconds.
Ooh, nobody saw that.
All right, Mary, you can go to the answer slide,
Okay.
guys. And it is that of D, Mongolian spots. Um, my son actually has them, and he still has them. My physician said, typically, she said by 5 for sure they will be gone, but they are either contingent upon the hue of someone's skin, blue or black, or either a gray blue color. And it is on the back or either that of the buttocks of Asians or either African Americans. Okay. Now, one thing to point out, you want to make sure from a nursing standpoint that when you're doing your initial assessment that it is there and the parent lets you know that, because the first thing that comes to mind is that of abuse, right? And that's where he was going, and all of the other answers obviously just don't fit the bill. But remember the principles of therapeutic communication: never asking why, never being demeaning, never and oftentimes, if we can give information, give it, all right, but in a way in which the individuals are able to make those decisions for themselves. But in this case, it was just simple education. Are there any questions on that? All right, go ahead, Mary. All right. Upon assessing a newborn male, the nurse finds the urethral meatus open on the ventral side of penis behind the glands. Which term will the nurse highlight on the infant's assessment tool? A, cryptochordism. I'm not even sure if I pronounced that right, you guys, so please look over me. B, priapism. C, hypospadias. Or D, Mary, you killing me with these words here. Help me out, Professor
Uh,
Wilson.
no. This is Hesse Saunders killing you. Now you see what us students go through.
Now I can break it down, but ep, uh, epispadis. We're gonna go with that. Don't laugh at me, guys. But we got a newborn baby. The nurse finds the urethral meatus opens on the ventral side of the penis behind the glands. Which term will be used to highlight this? Okay. So a couple of things real quick. Um, Keyword here is that this is a male versus a female. All right. And obviously we see that of um penis, right? And we're looking for something, the urethral meatus opens on the ventral side of the penis, behind the glands. Which one would then think, is this normal or abnormal? All right. And being able to have the correct medical term, to be able to speak to that, okay? Because you're definitely going to want to document this. And guys, you can take a guess. You know. Oh, and I'm just in the chat. Professor also said purplish bluish with the Mongolian spots. All right, Mary, let's see the answer.
Sorry.
All right. It is the last answer that I could
Wait, I
not
think it
pronounce.
was. Wait, is that the last or the? Oh, wait, hold on.
Upstairs.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So guys, when you get to situations like this, especially when you're doing practice questions, if there is a term that you have no idea what it is, this would be the opportune time to write it down. So if, for those of you who haven't created like a Word document or a notebook of things like this, it's something that I suggest that you do so you're able to go back and say, hey, um, I'll go look it up, look at any information that I need regarding that. And so when you see the question again, you're able to answer it because you're like, okay, I have seen that at some point.
Um, Disclosure. Actually, I put the wrong answer. It's C. The epistatus is D.
Oh,
So it's
all
supposed to
right.
be the
Thank
C.
you. C.
This is what I get for doing stuff at 1 o'clock in the morning.
That's all right, Mary. All
Okay.
right. All right. When the administration at a large urban medical center decides to establish a unit to care for clients with infectious diseases such as Ebola and the avian flu, several employees express fear related to caring for these clients. When choosing staff to work on this unit, which action is best for the nurse manager to take? Right? So we're looking at more of a delegation type question here. Is it A, make it clear that no one is afraid to care for clients with rare disorders will be permitted to work on the unit? B, conduct an education program about infectious diseases and then assess the staff's willingness to work with these clients? C, introduce the staff to the family of a client who has been treated for SARS and ask the staff to share their fears with his family? Or is it D, assign staff based on the needs of the unit, providing peer counseling for those staff members who express fear? So if you were this manager, what would you do? Okay. Um, and guys, and unfortunately, I would have to say I have experienced both of these things in my tenure of being a nurse. Not actually me having it, but during the time period where these things occurred. And really, guys, you do have to look at that. You know, I could even throw in that, you know, COVID initially when no one knew what it was. You know, we really had to figure out how to handle this because not only are you taking care of patients, you have the staff there too who are afraid as well. So how do we handle it? Okay, I see some answers coming in. Right, give you guys a couple of more seconds. Okay. All right, Mary. Let's see our answer here. Conduct an education program about infectious diseases and then assess the staff's willingness Professor Wilkinson, that's your domain. It is not mine at all.
Professor
We'll just
Wilkinson, it
confirm
is that
mine.
hypospadia. I put the wrong one when I made the rational slide. So that's an oopsie on me.
That's all right, Mary. So here, you guys, this is the thing, and we kind of learn as we go. But this is the one thing that we found out is that people need to be educated about diseases. I remember when Ebola came out, we were given a presentation on it in addition to proper PPE and how to put it on correctly and how to take it off correctly. So giving staff the resources that they need so they're able to make sound decisions in regards to the assignments that they are taking. Because remember, at the end of the day, yes, we do a great job in providing care, but we also want to go home to our families as well. So making sure that we have what we need and the ability for the nurses or techs, whomever's providing care, are they able to handle it? So that was a good question, Mary. Good. And next one.
There we go.
All right. A client with rhabdomyolysis tells the nurse about falling while going to the bathroom and lying on the floor for 24 hours before being found. Which current client finding is indicative of renal complications? Is it A, 3 plus protein in the urine, B, a BUN greater than 25, C, a blood pH greater than 7.45, or is it D, a urine output of 2,500 milliliters per day? Um, Pretty sad
I'm gonna
story.
I'm gonna throw this in because I just took Hesse Compass A. It's important to know your labs, guys. It's very important because the labs will trick you on NGN questions. Learn that the
Hey,
hard
Mary,
way.
I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, I know they provide references, but still, you have to know what you're talking about. You have to,
Yeah,
in which direction to
that
go.
was my downfall on the Hesse Compass. I'm actually very upset with myself on that, but lessons learned.
All right. Oh, goodness. Let's go to our answer, Mary. Drum roll. It is that of BUN, guys. Um, well, Mary, I couldn't have said it any better. Guys, there's just some certain labs that you need to know, and this is so happens to be one of them when we talk about, BUN and that of creatinine, and of course we can get into those electrolytes as well. But when we talk about rhabdo, I call it rhabdo, it's characterized by we start to see a deterioration of muscles. Okay, that release that of myoglobin, all right, which then places the client at increased risk for that of renal failure, hence that of the BUN level being high. Mary, I can't think of the guy, but he was at SNA last year. Is it Nurse Mike? Is that his name?
Mm.
He has a or simple nurse. Someone I don't know. It's a video that I know a lot of my learners use. That
Oh
it,
yeah,
he
Nurse
gives
Mike, Simple Nursing.
yeah yeah he gives a great just explanation when talking about BUN creatinine and just the kidney function is all together. So um, if you guys haven't taken a look, you can go on YouTube and give it a try. But he breaks it down really good. Okay. And when we look at the other things, you guys, it's just you in actuality knowing what your normal lab values are. Okay. Urine output is a very important thing to know. A lot of you see that a lot. And remember, a minimum is what 30 milliliters per hour that we at least want to see. And sometimes you have to do a little math in your head to figure these things out. But correct answer here is the BUN. It was that the last one, Mary?
I think one more.
One more.
Yep.
All right. A young nurse on night shift has called medical records to have her own mother's paper chart delivered to the unit. What is the charge nurse next response? I'm sorry, guys. I find this question funny. Is it A, if you open the chart, I will have to report you to the manager. B, I hope you're not going to review that chart. C, is your mother having surgery here tomorrow? Or D, what are your plans with your mother's chart? All right, let's think about this. Is this something that that young nurse should have done? Okay. And yes or no. And then let's think about what your response would be as a charge nurse. You're the leader on that unit. So how would you direct her here? Is this a legal concern? Is it an ethical concern? Is it no concern at all? What would you do in this particular case? All right. All right, Mary, let's look at our answer here. What are your plans with your mother's chart? All right, guys, we're talking about confidentiality here. It can get very tricky. One thing that I will say is, will you please make sure that you know what the policy is at your particular facility when it comes to family members. I know at my old job, if you had a family member on the unit, obviously you couldn't provide care, so we would have to switch up assignments. But family members have the same right to confidentiality as everyone else. Okay, essentially, if you're not taking care of them, you should not be looking in their chart. And when it comes to that, your family member, guys, we have to also remember conflict of interest. Okay, so that will be like it says in the response. That'll be a great teachable moment to tell them about confidentiality, going into HIPAA and things of that sort. Because guys, we know that we could really run into some major issues if we break the rules of HIPAA. All right, Mary.
I would say also important learning for that. Don't go into your own chart. Just because it says
Oh,
our name
right,
does
right.
not mean we own it. Okay. And that is the last slide. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for listening to me ramble for 25 minutes. Our next meeting, I believe, is March 7th. Professor, we might have to check on that invite because I think it has it listed on a Saturday.
Oh,
But we will
wow.
double
Okay,
check that.
I will get it. I will get it. Okay.
So everyone have a good month. For those who are going into more tests, I'm not even sure when Hussies are, but everyone stay calm. We got this all. And I will see everyone next month. Bye.
All right. The meeting has been adjourned
Oh yeah, the
at
meeting has been adjourned
uh
at
13:38 Mountain Standard Time.
that's what I got.
All right.